Yo.
What up?
I've got a sidekick today.
I don't. I have a wall.
He's been very good about sitting in his little perch. Like I gave him his own seat at the table, and as of the past couple of days, he's actually using it. Right, Malk? Well, he's
just literally just living. That is literally going to take down your, what is that, a light? Is that
all
one of your
the
lights?
Yeah, I forgot to charge my lights, so I've had to leave them plugged in. And
yeah, there's no way this ends well. There's no shot.
I don't have the energy to do much about it right now.
No. You're just gonna ride this one out. Just when the lights come crashing down, you know
toys,
why.
Man, why aren't you playing with any of the toys? Here.
Is that the little is that the on button too? So literally he's gonna.
No, it's an extension cord. Yeah, look at this. It's a dinosaur. Play with the dinosaur instead. Give me that.
Literally. Okay, there you go. There you go.
That's gonna last about 5 seconds.
Crisis averted.
What's up?
Honest, chill. You know.
How's your week? How's your week?
Chaos. As always. I feel like it's never gonna stop. I feel like we just entered a period where it's just constant malarkey.
Yeah, I saw there was some chaos in your Twitter feed earlier or something. I haven't been looking at Twitter very much lately, though.
I don't think anyone has.
I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one feeling this way about this feature and a million other changes over there. But I don't like the following the For You columns.
So, and it just goes to For You every time, and I forget to switch it over. And of course, I'm scrolling, just going, I don't want to be here. Why don't I want to be here? And
I do the same thing. And it's literally the whole point of Twitter is that you follow what you want to follow. I feel like it's a difficult comparison to make because why do I process TikTok differently?
Because video
I like the For You on TikTok. I feel like my brain was just conditioned to accept TikTok as that right out the gate, whereas I have carefully curated who I follow on Twitter, so I only follow those people.
Well, and because TikTok's way better about the curation, literally once you start watching certain types of videos, you're actually getting content that you want to see, where the For You now is I'm getting things that I don't want to see in a billion years, and that's what's being recommended. So that's the difference. And I mean, I've noticed a massive drop in engagement too, just maybe it's me, maybe everyone just hates me now, but a drop like that, I was kind of yeah, I think there's something happening.
Hi, Faye. Twitter. This is another thing that he's doing now. Oh, well, I know what he's staring at this time. I mean, I'm going to fuck up my whole camera by doing this, but whatever. We're having a day over here. Oh, I can't even do it. You can kind of see him.
He's just
kind of see him. He does. He's getting settled. That's his preferred perch. Yeah. But he does this thing lately where he just stares at the ceiling at nothing, and it creeps me out a little. But it's not one spot in the ceiling. He does a perimeter check where he's got to
I mean, there's obviously.
and then if I go into the bathroom to I don't know, brush my teeth, all of a sudden he hops up on the counter and he's looking up at the bathroom
well, Rogers hates that.
What the fuck are you looking at? What are you looking at?
When either of us go into the bathroom, Rogers starts going crazy, barking, and you can kind of see a shadow. Yeah, you can see a shadow through the door in my bathroom. So sometimes I'll go into the bathroom and I just look, and you could just see the outline of a dog with its head tilted looking in the door.
This is going to sound like a really big leap, but it also is going to make too much sense. I was able to do some interviews for Party Down recently, and you can bet I brought up the movie Bad Milo.
Yeah, you better have, because
literally any chance I get to talk about that butt monster, I am going to.
Talking butt monster. Bad Milo is one of those undersung horror comedies that's come
out. Milo.
Bad Milo, whatever. Bad Milo, Bad Milo.
Can't.
Same thing.
My brain's not strong enough for this today. How are you guys doing? Here's the first thing that I wanted to say. The very first thing, the most important thing, is it's Elise's birthday week. A very happy birthday to you. I believe I saw in another comment it was on Wednesday. I hope you had a wonderful day celebrating. You deserve it. We have a super chat from oh my God, a birthday again. Wiley says, hey, birthday was yesterday, turned 23. Happiest of birthdays to you, Wiley. Many more to come. Because of that, I have to mention my favorite soundtracks of the year so far. Somebody I used to know is a great soundtrack, and the Hogwarts Legacy score is amazing. I really want to watch somebody I used to know.
Yeah.
That.
Behind.
Hmm?
It's only Feb 10th, and I am behind already.
I know.
Like, cool. This is fun.
It's so the weird thing about film festivaling early in the year is you watch so much, but it's not the type of watching that makes you feel like you've gotten stuff done.
Because you're watching things.
Yeah,
you're watching things that are going to come out on award season or like next year. Like we're still getting releases of things that played last Sundance, and it's mix that in with literally like doing for your consideration stuff too, because it's like we're all trying to catch up still now with the more elongated voting period, and it just feels like it never ends.
Those for your consideration conversations are heated. I feel like I'm in the Merri Hour safe space right now. Most people are pretty good in the FYC comments section, but there are some can I tell you what I did that made everybody angry?
Sure.
So Mance's preferred format for this stage of the show is he wants us to rank the nominees in order of like our own personal preference, but then also obviously it's a prognostication show, so we discuss their chances of actually winning the Oscar as well.
Right.
And I think everyone got a little mad because I ranked the Best Actress nominees, and do you know who my number one was?
Was it everything?
No, I put Andrea Riseborough. Like literally take away everything about Oscar season, about any campaign. Like I am just sitting there ranking my not even the best, because again, comparing art is not a mathematical equation where you can do something like that, but I am just ranking my favorite performances of the year. And had you asked me if she was likely going to be one of my favorite performances of the year in March of 2020, when I saw the damn movie at South by Southwest, I would have said the same thing. She really good in that movie.
No, I know. And that's the prognostication. It's the thing of saying like,
Elise is mad at me because it just automatic, and it's not like I feel like
but you're predicting though.
But I'm not in this case. I was ranking them in preference order, and it's like you can't look at number 3 on a list of 5 slots and say you gave Michelle Yeoh a shitty position, because we're talking about, what many might deem the 5 best performances of all the lead performances we saw in a single calendar year. Michelle Yeoh is exceptional. Everything Everywhere All at Once is my favorite movie of last year, and the movie that I want to win as many Oscars as humanly possible. But if I'm doing favoriting right now, I don't know.
But that's all you can go on. It's your favorite.
I'll give everyone a little spoiler, and I'll say Stephanie Hsu is probably going to be number 1 on my best supporting actress list. I think she's so.
Yeah, I agree with that. And again, so I guess if that was your ranking though on the prognostication, do you think that it's not going to be Blanchett? Like, is Blanchett no longer the favorite to win? I know, like rankings aside, but.
So I still if I were to make a prediction right now and place a bet on it, I would still think that Cate Blanchett is most likely to win. But whereas, a month or two ago, I thought she was going to run away with it. And even though Michelle Yeoh has a lot of support, Cate Blanchett was the clear winner because, a lot of the predicting factors have worked in her favor. And also the performance is incredible again. But there's this little narrative that was proposed in terms of Andrea Riseborough getting into the race, which was unexpected. And it kind of shook up how we were all thinking about that, because Cate Blanchett is one of the actors out there who supported Andrea Riseborough's nomination. And while I don't necessarily think that's going to make enough people who it went fucking out again. Enough people who planned to vote for Cate Blanchett, I don't think there's going to be enough of those people voting for Andrea Riseborough to get her the win. But I can see some sort of world out there where if some people take their planned votes from Cate Blanchett, and maybe others look at Cate Blanchett and say, well, if she's supporting Andrea Riseborough, she doesn't really want it. More of those votes could go to Michelle Yeoh, who's already close enough as it is, and put her in a good position to win. It's very interesting right now.
Yeah, because again, like that does throw a wrench into it. Because like I thought that was all locked up with Planchette. You know, like I thought we had that all wrapped up, and throwing
I
Riseborough
don't
in now
think
just
so.
complicates the
I don't think
scenario.
either of the lead actor performance categories are locked up right now.
Yeah, I've been thinking the same thing about Best Actor, and you know, as much as I think it's deserved, I think it makes it more interesting now that it's not a runaway. I genuinely don't know if he will anymore. I think he still will, but
Yeah,
it's a thought. It's no longer like a certainty.
I'm still giving both Cate Blanchett and Brendan
Yeah,
Fraser the edge right now,
yeah,
but I think the gaps between them and their number 2 behind them has closed quite significantly in the last couple weeks.
interesting. Yep.
Interesting indeed.
I'll be at South by not watching the Oscars.
I mean, I love the Oscars and I'll watch it no matter where I am, but I am kind of hoping I'm not in Los Angeles for the Oscars and I'm in Austin instead.
Yeah, I'll be watching Ted's movie or something else.
I want to see Ted's movie.
It's during the Oscars.
Oh, real? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Oh, no, Ted. There's still going to be a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
It, though.
Absolutely. I will watch everyone get angry on Twitter the next morning when I scroll through my feed.
What's Ted's movie called again?
Brooklyn 45.
Okay. I'm quite pumped.
One
for
of
that.
the midnight selections.
Yes, please. I need midnighters in my eyeballs.
Yeah.
All right. From Oscar talk to Fast X.
To
10.
future Oscar talk.
Fast and Furious 10. Are we saying it out loud, Fast X?
I mean, it's Fast.
We're saying Fast 10.
10. I mean, like,
a couple people have said to me, like, you see the trailer for Fast X? I'm like, are we saying X or 10?
It's a Roman numeral.
No, I know
so,
it's a
like,
Roman. I definitely,
So
I
like,
definitely
exactly.
know what the Roman numeral for 10 is, but
I know, that's why I'm saying. So to me, I would say it is Fast 10. Like that is my assumption.
Fast 10. I want to like come up with some silly name that's not that, but I can't. I'm not creative enough. What'd you think of the trailer, Matt?
It's dumb fun, man. Like I have no qualms with what I'm seeing. Like the trailer's too long. It shows you too much. It does everything kind of wrong, but I still smiled the whole way through and I'm so in on it. Like just the way that the cast is just presented and how much bigger it's gotten, even down to something like Alan Richardson as, you know, a new face in the Fast franchise. And that is so dwarfed compared to, like, you know, obviously Jason Momoa and Brie Larson, all these things. But at the same time, you just sit there going like, wow, they still brought in all of these new actors. They're still building the cast out. They're 10 parts in, and I'm still seeing all this vehicular madness that, like, again, I smiled the whole way through. I can't fight that.
Who is not in that movie franchise?
Literally, like, Rita Moreno just in the beginning, just like, cool. She's here now. Like, yeah.
So can I tell you my little brain narrative as I was watching that trailer? So the trailer starts and I'm like, all right, more of the same, like cool people, but like I don't know, how much do I really want to see? And like I was someone who I mean, I guess I liked Fast 9. I didn't like 8. Eight's
yes, correct.
Like in the second half of the franchise, I liked them all except 8 was the dip for me.
Yep.
But anyway, I'm watching this trailer and I'm like, do we really need more of this? Do we really?
Yeah.
Do I have any excitement for? And sure enough, like one person, another person, family this, family that. And by the end of it, I'm like, fuck yeah, all these people with fast cars and chasing each other and flying and dropping out of planes and smashing helicopters. Yes, I need this movie.
And like, there's this stuff like, what's that death race scene going on where there's like the fucking Mad Max cars and shooting rockets from John Cena?
I can explain next to nothing. I have seen all these movies multiple times. Do you know how long it really it took me to like fully piece together who Jason Momoa is in this movie? Yeah. It was not easy.
Well, and people are saying, I looked it up because one of the speculations is that Brie Larson's character is Brian's sister or something. Like they're already like trying to put those together. So we're family may be very tied as it always is, and there are some great lines in there. But like, I know it's dumb fun, but it's like the kind of dumb fun I am so invested in. And you know, people talk about like superhero fatigue, which I don't have yet, I don't think. And it's like I have even less Fast and Furious fatigue because it still seems like something that is different than what is coming out. Like I don't think we get that many action spectacles outside of superhero movies right now. So, and I mean, like, these are veering more into superhero territory the farther they get at it. Like, they go to space and all this shit. Like, I get it.
Charlize Theron's back.
Yep, exactly. Like, exactly that too. So for me, I'm fine with getting my fast movies every now and then because it is still something different in the grand landscape of mainstream cinema right now.
Yeah, I'll never be able to say no. Never be able to say no to this franchise.
No.
There's something about it. It's hard. Like, it's hard to describe because I feel like the family thing has become such a running joke, but I have to kind of like seriously address the fact that I do think that combined with the insane action is what gives this franchise a special spark, whereas other action heavy franchises don't have that same effect on people. There is something very, very infectious and like catchy and lovable about it.
And like it's kind of the same thing where if they were still running, the Expendables as a franchise or something to this day, I'd still probably be in that too for the same reasons. Like, some ideas are just good and you can play with them the right way. I don't think I agree with you that Fast 8 is the lesser of the ones we've heard or like seen recently. So like I can still stomach that with everything else we've gotten around that time period. So like I still haven't been turned off on the Fast franchise. I'm happy to see it. Vin is comparing it to Tolkien. Like I don't know.
Vin will.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's just gonna say the most absurd shit to get people there. I didn't miss The Rock. Like I think somebody said it in there in the chat, but like they have so many people already in this cast. I don't think him being absent is actually a detriment to this film. And they've like again, Momoa, Larson, Richardson, like all these people are bringing in. Okay, cool. Like I'm do your thing, Rock. Go off and do your Black Adam failure and stuff like that.
Oh,
I mean, he failed.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the yearly box office the other day, and I'm like, wow, that movie really didn't make a whole lot of money, did it?
That's I as much as like do your thing and bet on yourself. I get it. Like the data's still there.
Oh, there's always Jumanji. And then I sent you those quotes from a Variety article. The headline is Fast. I almost said X again. Fast 10 director got asked to rewrite the entire third act on the flight to set, and the quote says, "I was literally on no sleep." So, obviously, Justin Lin wound up stepping away, and like things had to like ramp up really, really quickly. And the full quote is from the new director. I read the script 4 times on the plane and I said I had some ideas, and they said, great, because the whole third act is changing, can you rewrite it tonight? I was literally on no sleep. I'd been on no sleep for days. So in most cases, something like this would be like, oh no, they're rushing a third act rewrite. Like, I hope they take enough time to really flesh it out and make sure everything makes sense. I mean, in this particular situation, the beauty with the Fast movies is like how much of it does really make a whole lot of logical sense. I mean, whatever, just go crazy and swing big, and I'm along for the ride.
It helps. The continuity helps because we're getting to a point in the franchise where there are so many cross lines, and maybe we just need a little bit. But again, bringing John Cena in as a brother and all these things is just like, okay, we're just gonna roll with this. It is so spectacular in other areas, and it goes so overboard in other areas that keep us engaged no matter what. We're able to give it that little more grace period where it's like, all right, I don't buy this, but at the same time, who cares? And also, like, aren't there reports that like this is how the franchise goes? Like, isn't Vin always like changing shit and just like riding by the seat of his pants on set?
I think he might have something close to that type of effect on certain movie sets. I mean, I hope he like respects the time and care that everybody puts into their own work. But from afar, it always feels like he is oozing some sort of authentic passion for everything that he works on. So I appreciate that, and I hope that's where any changes or last minute switches come from, is just trying to make the best movie they possibly can because they care.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Louis Lederer is like, or how you pronounce the name in his actual name. He's done action. Like, he's done action a bunch. So like, I'm not worried. Like, again, like The Replacement to me, like it doesn't bother me that much. And to have him look at these things, like,
I don't know. I really like
I love Justin Lin. And don't get me wrong, I love Justin Lin. That he is fantastic.
I mean, maybe this is just my experience from like having the opportunity of interviewing people associated with the more recent films and also watching a lot of interviews, it just seemed like so much of that cast really respected Justin Lin and looked at him as a real leader of this franchise, and giving him a whole lot of credit also for like rejuvenating it in a sense and making this like iteration of the franchise what it is and being able to keep it going as long as they did. Really, when that news broke, that really surprised and concerned me because I'll bring back the family word. It's I'm also a big believer that whether you have a big family through line in your narrative like this franchise does, or you're just talking about a film's cast and crew, that it should feel like a family because making these movies is really damn hard. And I think it's important to have those kinds of relationships. And you would think your Helmer would be at the head of the table. He'd be like the leader of that family. And all of a sudden their leader was gone.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with that.
And unplanned for. It's like if Justin Lin had finished up 9 and said, you know what, like I've had enough time to pass the reign, then I wouldn't be worrying, or I wouldn't have been worrying. I'm like, no, I'm not really worrying. I mean, I guess that's the beauty of a batshit crazy franchise like this, is that I'm not really worrying.
Yeah, you can, again, what Justin Lin brings is fantastic. And again, I'm a fan of Justin Lin and all the work he does, but I feel like you can kind of have a lot of directors do that. And that is not to say anyone can replicate what Justin Lin does, but for the franchise, because it still is, from what people have said, Vin's vision. It still is all things that are tied to family. And like, that is great. The ambition is great and the oversight is great. But at a certain point, how much becomes the director flourishing and how much does it become filling the job?
I do not know.
Yeah, I don't know.
See.
I don't know. I'm excited though. Again, this is all
excited,
this is all more fast. I'm fine with it.
I will happily take it. All right. Where should we go to next? Do you want to pick one of our other stories, or there's actually
there's a few super chats.
Oh my god, you're so right. I scrolled away.
Yep. Yeah, we got some.
You're still not logged into my account, are you?
No, I'm not.
Dude, Mike is here. Thank you for the super chat, Mike. Matt, what's playing at South by Southwest that has you the most excited?
Good question. I mean, the obvious is Evil Dead. Like, I can't get away from that. Evil Dead is playing there, so like I am very excited. I'm just looking back up very quickly what is playing. Oh, the new Becky sequel, The Wrath of Becky.
Yeah.
I am excited because I enjoyed the first one, and this one is supposedly double everything. They've just gone bigger. Sean William Scott is playing the villain, and I am very into that. Talk to Me, which Perri has talked about, played Sundance already. A24 snatched it up. So it actually got slated for South by before A24 did that, A24, whatever. And I kind of still am like, is it going to be there once it premieres? But I think we're good. Yeah. I think we're safe with A24 pulling it. So I'm excited for that.
That's my new history, Matt. I'm going to run around.
The new history. All right.
Talk to me all the time now.
There's also this movie called Furies, and it is a sequel to an action film that supposedly was very well done. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm going to take time out before South by and watch it. But very excited for Furies as well, because it's supposed to be just like batshit hard-hitting action along the lines of like The Night Comes for Us and those types of films. So a few there that I'm excited for because I am leading Midnighters. But bunch of other stuff. Like, I mean, kind of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm not afraid to say that. Like, I'm excited to see that opening night.
Their big game trailer looked pretty good.
Yep. Oh my god.
Mike Joyce is here. What's up, Mike? Did you see the clip of Vin Diesel comparing himself to Tolkien and the Fast franchise to Lord of the Rings? I couldn't tell if he was joking or not. That's the thing, Mike. You're not even supposed to use any brain power trying to decipher whether Vin is joking or not. You just roll with it.
I also don't think he's joking. I think he's being very serious. He's a huge like fantasy nerd. He loves that stuff so much. So like he's connecting himself to these worlds somehow, and this is his epic. Like the Fast franchise is Vin Diesel's epic. So I mean, is it that far off? Maybe, but is it totally far off?
I mean, not really. I mean, in all seriousness, you look at a long-running franchise, and you can maybe connect some sort of like film structural threads in terms of the way that a film series expands. But a little bit of a stretch there if he is saying that with sincerity. All right, We're good on supers. Okay, wait.
Yes.
I wanted to bring up one thing. I know what you did last summer because someone brought it up in the chat, and as soon as I find this report, I will bring it back up. I'll pull the one from Empire. I know what you did last summer. Sequel with the original cast in the works. Blah, 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 blah. According to Deadline, Sony Pictures has tapped Jennifer Caton Robinson, director of last year's Do Revenge, to helm the sequel. That's a great pick, by the way. I mean, that instantly gives me faith that they actually could make a good I Know What You Did Last Summer sequel. Then it goes on to say that Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. are in talks to reprise their roles. Blah, blah, blah. Reportedly, the project is still in early development. Robinson is said to have blown the studio execs away, is on board as a screenwriter. That gives me a whole lot of faith. I'm very into this idea. You know, I Know What You Did Last Summer is a 90s horror movie that will always have a place in my heart because that's one of those things that when you're the right age and you see it in the theaters, it just that experience gets like burned in your brain and you remember it fondly. But I'll fully admit I've watched that movie quite often recently, and while I do think certain set pieces hold up, there's a lot in that movie. It's not. And also, as far as the slasher franchises go that get continued and continued, that's got some pretty bad sequel. I do like I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, but there's still like similar to the first movie. It's very rough around the edges, and I'm very willing to admit that. But how many came after it? Was it one or two?
I think this is the fourth. I think the newly announced. Yeah.
Then the third one is like I hate getting this intense about it, but it was kind of unwatchable to me.
Yeah.
Very, very upsetting.
Well, I mean, I Know What You Did Last Summer had that real special timeline where it came out and could, go right alongside Scream and all that stuff and bank off that hype. And not to say they weren't good. It's just that like Scream kind of set the tone for horror to come in that future. And I Know What You Did was right there with it, just kind of like making the money at the same time. So yeah, there's a reason why that third one was not great.
I was thinking of the TV show too. That would, in a sense, be another installment. I still vividly remember the movie theater that my mom took me to see and the friends that came with me. Like, of course, we were not supposed to be in that theater, but
I think because of how, like you just said, I watched it recently too. I forget, it like went on Netflix a few months ago, and I was just kind of like, I haven't seen this in a while, and it's going to leave Netflix immediately. So like, let's watch this again. And yeah, it's rough. It's rough around the edges. Not going to lie about it. But I think that's why it's exciting to kind of do things again with the cast, and kind of we're seeing a lot of franchises become very self-reflective, and we're seeing franchises like, again, Scream doing it. So like, it almost feels in tune that Scream coming back and becoming, it's always been popular, but again, repopularizing itself for a new generation. It makes perfect sense that I Know What You Did Last Summer is going to come right along and do it. And I think it's a good time to do it because they can laugh at their past movies. They can laugh at their mistakes and go a new route.
I'm curious to see if they take a meta path like that, but
it's got to be cheeky. Like you're not doing a fourth film and like bring people back and not have a little cheekiness to it. I think that's.
Is it some sort of generational thing? Like, is it about their kids and like someone who is related to fuck? What was his name? Ben?
Oh God, yeah. I'm blanking on that name too.
You know how I can figure out the name of the killer in the first one is because I remember the big reveal. Spoiler for I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, but it's Will, Ben's son. It kills me. I can still hear that being delivered. Bring back Jack Black. I know he's dead, but bring him back.
Oh my God, yeah, no, always. I know.
Hi, Annabelle. Thank you so much for the super chat as always, my friend. You two deserve all awards. Making calls. POV on AMC charging more. This is probably something we should have realized that we needed on the lineup. So Annabelle, thank you for doing our jobs for us. because we getting hoodwinked on that one. Also, have either of you seen the Argentinian horror Legions? Sprinkles of Evil Dead on it. Interesting.
I have a screener for Legions. It's VOD now.
Oh, okay.
It's just VOD, but I have a screener sitting there because the trailer looks mad fun, and I still need to actually do it.
Okay, I would like to see it. I'll wait for your report, Matt, and then maybe I'll watch it. The seating thing is fucking weird. That's weird.
It's weird. But then I saw somebody explain it in a way that is kind of like they're driving people to become AMC Plus members or whatever their service is right now. And basically, if you have AMC Plus, this doesn't matter. So they're doing this in a way which they're doing airplane seats, which is dumb. I agree with that. But basically, if you're going to AMC enough right now, you should be using AMC Plus anyway to actually like save money and all that stuff. And again, you won't be dinged on it that way. So like, it's not good. I agree with the actual practice, but if that is true, where this is a technique that's gonna maybe bolster AMC Plus and get people moving to there.
When you say they're trying to drive people to AMC Plus, do you mean that AMC
they're
Plus
like whatever their stubs or whatever
they'll have dibs on seats regardless
plus of the streaming service? Yeah, sorry.
They'll have dibs on the seat that they want, regardless of what ticket price they choose.
If you're with AMC theaters,
okay,
if you have whatever their AMC subscription, whatever it is, because Plus obviously is AMC Premiere. There we go. AMC Premiere. For using that, this doesn't matter. And I think they want everyone using that. And I get it. Like, we shouldn't be charging different money. Like, only people that are more well off can sit in the good seats and everyone else has to sit in the front, like a class system. Like, yeah, that's terrible. That is absolutely awful. But if AMC Premiere is worth it and AMC Premiere is, again, like not hindered by this, I think it might be a way to start getting people to subscribe for that.
I have a question. Let's say someone is wait, what is it called again? AMC. Now I want to say AMC.
Spartan
AMC
Premiere
Plus Premiere stubs.
What?
So if you're
A-list, whatever. Okay.
A-list. If you're
literally saying I don't know what it is.
If you're an A-list member and like people have bought up all the fancy seats, and then all of a sudden you buy a ticket, then you're forced to sit in whatever is open. You can't like bump someone or not that any of this really matters. I'm just trying to like get a full picture of how this weird system works.
Yeah. How that you can't kick somebody else out if you are on that, but
I'm asking you questions like you're the authority on this. What is the price range? Like, what is the worst seat in the house price wise compared to like whatever people deem the best seat?
Hold on. They showed the diagram of it.
Again, not that any of this matters. I really I understand that theaters need to do what they need to do in order to stay afloat, but I don't like this idea, and I'm sure they could come up with better ones.
Okay, according to where you sit. Where is it? Like, they had a diagram of it somewhere.
While you're looking at that, Haunted Autumn says, I hate this new plan. I always sit at the end of a row, and now there will be more competition for those seats because they're cheaper. I mean, I do the same thing, Haunted Autumn, so I get that. Robin West Parker, I've always thought the very front row should be cheaper, but not higher pricing for the middle. I mean, it's like I guess when you buy theater tickets, if you or stadium sports tickets, if you pick a seat with a somewhat obstructive view, then your seats are. I mean, I guess it is kind of like the same thing as, but not really. Well,
so
the
it's
same thing. Like a stadium
standard,
is a lot bigger.
It's standard sightline, so they're doing it by sightline the way that this diagram has it laid out, and basically. There's a chunk of seats in the middle of the theater that are all golden, and that is the premier Priceline seat. It is the best sight line they've determined, and that is $2 extra. Everything on the outsides prices stay the same. So like everything circling around that, again, the edge seats, all that stuff, they all stay the same. And then there's just a single row in the front. So like just the very first row, that's $2 less.
I don't like this.
It's a $2. So basically it's a $2 differential going up if you want the best seats and down if you're okay with the front.
All right. Well, we'll see how that pans out. Here's
I'm glad we figured out what AMC's subscription service was.
Yeah, really. That's in conclusion. That is the most valuable piece of information you got.
Literally said I didn't know what it was. Literally said I didn't know the name of it.
More valuable information on the horizon, because Ryan wants to know the meaning of the candy cane tattoo. Also, I would like to know, when is the next food item being added to that arm?
Yeah, so I am. This is going to happen soon. I have to decide when I'm going to do it. So the answer to your second question is, I don't know. Maybe I honestly, I was thinking about looking into booking something in the next week or two. So maybe even sooner than that. The candy cane. Why is that here? What have I done to myself? It is because I like Christmas horror a whole lot, and that is my ode to Anna and the Apocalypse, which is a near perfect movie. And I really like some of the lyrics and what they stand for. So I like having the reminder, because you got a little dagger on the end of it right here. So like that, it's a creative design of what Anna uses as a weapon. So yeah, it's just for me.
Yay. No, it's for everybody. Food horror should be for everybody.
It is for everybody. And it goes with the rest I got here.
Look who's starting shit, Haunted Autumn. What the fuck is this? Calling it now. Matthew Lillard would be the surprise killer. And I know. Oh, I got all upset. I know what you did last summer for tie backs to Scooby-Doo and an homage to Scream. Dude, I jumped all over your comment because I saw Killer and Matthew Lillard and wanted to be like, fuck no. But you know what? This sounds like a brilliant meta idea. And I feel like if it's a situation where they think they kill Matthew Lillard, but he comes back, that could be a really great like meta reference to Scream and people demanding that Matthew Lillard comes back, even though he's dead, and then his head smashed in by a TV.
I mean, we'll see.
Stop it.
We'll see. I'm not saying anything. You clicked that. I wasn't even going to click that comment or bring it up. You clicked it.
Yeah, it was a good comment, and it was a good comment. But
you know where I stand on this.
Jumped all over it.
I'm pro Stu.
All over it.
Cult of Stu.
Yeah. All right. It could be the Cult of Stu, but it's not Stu.
It
could be the cult. I'll fully give you that cult could be looking
led
up
by Stu.
Not led by Stu. Led by someone who is Stu obsessed. That is what it will be.
Stu is very obsessed with Stu.
Dude, you're killing me. Robin West Parker is here. Going to my first film festival, Pan African, next week. A little confused on how to navigate it, but I'm excited. All your coverage of fests got me hyped. You should be hyped. Film festivals are awesome. And I feel like even though there's certain film festivals that I've gone to multiple times, many, many years, it doesn't matter. Every single year right before I go, I always feel a little confused and lost. And all I can do is my absolute best with organizing my priority list and trying to get as many tickets as I can. And then ultimately you kind of have to like throw your hands up and go with the film festival wave, because whether you see the things you really want to see or you wind up not seeing those, but seeing hidden gems that you might not have discovered otherwise in their place, you're still in for a great experience.
Yeah, the thing we always say, the thing I stand by is like my favorite or my most anticipated of any festival is, I don't know yet, because I'm going to see something at a festival that I had no idea existed. And it's probably going to turn out to be the thing that I talk about the most. Like, again, the Fallout, I still just... one that I'll talk about forever, and I didn't even know it existed until South by, and but that happens over and over again. So it's like, take the time out of your day to just see anything. If you have a slot open and something sounds vaguely interesting, just do it. There's no you're on the front lines in a way doing a festival, and there's no reviews out yet, there's no talk about anything. So number one, you kind of get to guide that a little bit, which is fun, and number two, it's just everything's a gamble, and I kind of like that excitement.
Yeah, I like that too. Good advice there. Wiley's here. You can answer this, Matt. Since I'm going to South by Southwest this year, how do the screenings work? Does the big movie the big movies only premiere once, like Dungeons and Dragons? I'm assuming the smaller ones play a lot.
So if it replicates, so South by is actually doing a few different things this year, which is very cool. Number one, the Midnighters are at 10 o'clock. They're no longer at midnight. Yeah. So everything's kind of pushed up a little bit, so you don't have to, as Perri and I do every midnighter.
Does this mean I'm not old, but like collectively the world, like humanity, has gotten old?
Well, I think it's the other thing too of how many times did me and you have to like contemplate, do we go to this screening or do we go to a party or something like that and like do networking? So this makes it a lot easier to do both now, which is great. But anyway, so the navigation, yes, Dungeons and Dragons, Evil Dead, they're playing once. You're not going to get multiple chances to see that. And the way that works is you got to get in line early. Like if you have something that is a hot ticket item and you don't have a press pass or something like that, line up whenever you can. Honestly, I do want to say like, maybe an hour or two early, and even an hour isn't enough. So just be willing to do that. Just make everything a priority, make the festival a priority. And like I said, just plan it out. And the schedule's up right now, so you can actually start looking at the schedule. Because I know Evil Dead doesn't play until like the 15th. So like for some reason they're holding Evil Dead until the back half of the festival.
God, I'm so glad you just said that out loud.
Yeah, that was a big one. So like it's the year Curse of La Llorona and Pet Sematary were the closing two movies, and it's like those were two. One turned out to be better than the other, but those were two mainstream big horror films that they just back-ended and said, okay, cool, we're gonna play those the Saturday and the Friday and the Saturday, the end of the festival, and half the people there were like, well, I'm gone by then.
I feel like everybody out there just witnessed me completely reshaping my travel plans.
But also, to your other point, Wiley, the way South by also does it is you should have two chances to see the smaller stuff. So if you miss stuff on the front half, let's call it, the back half does its best to really duplicate everything. And there's a great like 5 or 6 slots they leave open as like festival favorites. So if something like we just talked about, one of those little movies that no one knew about turns out to be the biggest hit, they'll put it in the back end. They'll sneak another screening in to say like, cool, we want to make sure everyone sees these festival favorites. So like you'll have opportunities for the things that are smaller. For the bigger ones, you got to shell out. Like you just got to be there.
I look forward to standing in lines, hopefully, for the biggest of the big. I really want to go. I'm just speaking it into existence. I'm going to be there.
All right.
One way or another. Ian, what's up? How you doing? Off to see one of the last Oscar movies I need to see. I hope you all have a good Super Bowl weekend. I have fallen behind on my Oscar catch up, which makes me very sad. I had a whole plan laid out, and that plan just went to shit. Just went to shit.
EO's one of the last ones. I mean, like the best picture, like obviously I'm prioritizing, but I think there's only 2 I don't have at this point.
Yeah.
Well, maybe only 1.
I'm waiting on, like, I haven't seen any of the shorts, but I usually wait until like their press representative reaches out, and I always accept and like give me those screeners, and I binge them all. But I need to really go through the international feature and the documentary categories. Those are the 2 top priorities for me.
I thought I would have seen some of the international, but again,
not
happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was gonna happen.
A Decision to Leave was the one that I was. We talked about it.
You're very passionate about that one, yeah.
Quite. And honestly, I thought it was a shoo-in. So like that really did throw me.
Yeah.
Has Matt seen Tar? Yes, Matt saw Tar a while ago. Tar is very good. Actually, Tar is good. Cate Blanchett is very good.
Yeah, Cate Blanchett is so damn good in that movie. Yeah. What else did we have to talk about?
I mean, there's that Scream teaser. The Super Bowl spot, the big game spot. Sorry.
Their promotional campaign is just incredible. The teasers, the trailers, the posters, that team over there deserves a big applause because they really could not be putting together stronger promos for that movie. I'm really like very impressed because I obviously can't speak from this perspective with like 100% certainty, but I do get the feeling like they're catchy enough that they'll bring in Scream newcomers. But as like a longtime diehard fan who picks these things up, like I'll see a 2-minute trailer and I'll find a way to discuss it for an hour. Yeah. I mean, they're really delivering some quality trailers right now, and it makes me very happy.
I am very stoked on the New Yorkness of it all because it's the thing we keep talking about. Like, I just really want a slasher set in New York City and like adhering to the rules of the city in a way. So you get that really great moment in this teaser where, Ghostface is chasing some people who basically barricaded themselves inside their apartment. And it looks very New York authentic where the apartment isn't very big. and they look out the window and it's just a long drop because you're high up. And like that's the kind of stuff that like understands the New York City atmosphere and like a slasher element in there. Like it's hard to get away. Like if you're stuck in your apartment in New York and it's like a complex or whatever, you don't have many places to go. So like I love that moment.
I will tell you that is one of my biggest pet peeves in setting a movie in New York City is when the apartments are unrealistically large. I'm sorry, but no, that is not how life is. Like, especially when it's like a young adult. Are you kidding me? Those apartments, I have a feeling they're college dorm rooms, but they better be realistically small, or I'll be annoyed. But
I mean,
I saw a couple people out there claiming that there was some CGI trickery happening in that particular teaser. Okay. And I could see that happening where someone was like, I don't know how legit this is, but someone was pointing out like lines that might suggest that where they put in Ghostface could have been done digitally to, throw us off track. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure they do stuff like that in these trailers to an extent, and also manipulation via editing, which fine, give me an effective promo that doesn't reveal anything too much, but still gets me hyped. I get it. I know what you have to do with this stuff.
Well, I mean, that was the I think recently with a Shazam trailer, obviously somebody online was like, I compared the entire trailer and like, why is Shazam looking this way in one cut and then he cuts away and he's looking this way? So obviously they're not the same scene. And I forget if it was actually the director or editor, somebody like just quote tweeted, and it's like, because this shot was from something different and this shot's from a different place, and trailers work because we edit things together. Sure. Like it's like, yeah, like you just said, like it's that is very possibly true. Like it is very possibly true that they created a fabricated scene, let's call it, for that teaser because they're trying to get you into a theater and also not spoil things. Like Avengers, like the infamous trailer where they edited out or they added a whole character because they didn't want to spoil what happened. Like,
you got to do it sometimes, especially in the internet age where literally everybody is a detective. And everyone's going to pour over every single frame of a movie, of a trailer, and ultimately a movie, really, too. Not to get off track, but I just ran a cool piece on Collider with the producer of Missing, Sev Ohanian. And he wanted to tell me about some of the really cool Easter eggs. And like the Easter eggs, Matt, in that movie are just like really mind-blowingly incredible and smart, where they're done not necessarily just for fan service, but he was explaining ones to me where it was basically like missing mirroring searching, but also twisting certain ideas and themes and other little elements of the film in order to make it stand out, but still build on the screen thriller concept that they were rolling with on that first film. It's just like such smart shit. But anyway, I wanted to, I mean,
I saw that.
The bodega was large. The bodega was large.
No bodega, there are few bodegas that big in New York. A bodega is literally should be just a hole in the wall where like, if that happened while I was ordering a sandwich, I would be backed up against Ghostface, like hitting him.
Yeah.
Like,
there's nowhere to go. There's
also, wait, I like Robin's too.
Yeah, that's the other one I was looking for.
Like, what is Ghostface going to take the elevator up and just stand in an elevator with like other people?
I was thinking about when I was in I lived in, I think, 3 different dorms when I was at NYU. And for one of them, I was on the 17th floor. And a couple of times because there was a fire alarm or something going off, I would have to walk all the way up to 17. And that's not just a workout. That's like a week's worth of working out. That shit's hard.
I was 11. My dorm was on floor 11, and like, you walk up those steps and you walk up 11 flights, and you're like, oh yeah, that's effort.
It is, isn't it crazy? I think about this all the time. Isn't it crazy that like we work out fairly often? We like, going to the gym and shit like that. You could work out however much you want. Stairs never get any easier, ever.
No,
ever. Why?
Inclines. I mean, you can
someone send me a link that scientifically proves that stairs are difficult no matter what to make me feel better about myself, please.
That is fair.
What haven't we talked about? Christy is here. Welcome home from work and welcome to the live stream. I'm so happy to see you. I feel like, Christy's might be insulted that I make this connection because there's no Saints in the Super Bowl, but we haven't talked about the Super Bowl at all. Why'd you just give that face?
I like, I'm thinking about the Super Bowl, and like the more I think about it, the more I think it's gonna be a blowout. I don't think it's gonna be that tight.
Because of the Chiefs? Like the Chiefs will
No, I think the Eagles are gonna blow us away.
Okay.
The more I think about it, the more there were some, like I was watching Sports Center recently, and like there were some stats that came out that like I didn't pay attention to because I didn't have any players on my fantasy team, and I'm a Texans fan, and I had nothing to cheer for this year. But basically, like a few stats that were like yards after catch, like the Eagles like are in the top 5, and like yards after catch, the Chiefs defense are in like the bottom 2 for being like the worst at defending against. So like, I don't know. I think the offense that the Eagles have might be able to do some damage. And that's not to say Patrick Mahomes won't keep up, but I don't know. Around Jalen Hurts.
I mean, I'm with, like, I want that to happen. I feel like because everybody knows I am not a good football fan because I'm a fantasy football fan first, and I usually form an allegiance to whoever my quarterback is for the season. And my quarterback this year in both of my leagues was Jalen Hurts. So I would like to continue watching the Eagles win. So I do want to see them win. But, you know, I feel like Patrick Mahomes is like the James Cameron of football. Like you don't doubt Mahomes.
No, not at all. And like, he is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He is one of the most trusted players. Like, you put the team on his back. That's 100% what you do. But I mean, Hurts in his second season is proving to be somewhat of a Mahomes. Like I haven't seen enough for, however many seasons Hurts has been in. But like, I haven't seen enough of him to count him out in that sense yet, or like fully believe it. Like, he's still pretty early in his career. He's still got a lot left, and he's still got a lot to prove, but he's also proved a whole lot since he's even come into the league. I got faith. I not that I have a dog in this fight. I just think that Philly could do it.
Can I tell you about the dogs I have in this fight? Because I happen
are you betting? What are you doing?
I happen to have them right here. Well, I do Monocle's things still.
Oh yeah.
And let me just find. I have. Matt, you would hate me right now. I have so many tabs open on my computer.
I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I have
6 tabs.
I have his playoff challenge, and at this point, I'm tied for first in that. So for anybody out there that wants to know about this, the way that this playoff challenge works is you get 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and 1 tight end, and you pick someone, but you can only pick like 1 player per team. So that's how the puzzle happens. And obviously they get eliminated week to week. So the only 2 I have left are Kelsey and Devonta Smith. So my concern is that the person that I'm tied with has Kelsey and Jalen Hurts. So basically the only way that I could win is if the 2 of us tie and if Hurts only throws touchdowns to Smith. You see?
Yeah.
So I'm a little screwed there. But then,
because he's going to throw to AJ Brown.
But no.
I mean, maybe not.
Really, me picking Smith and not Brown has pushed me to the top. It's just at this point when there's not many players left, I get in a little bit of a bind. But the other thing, you've played it before. I'm doing Pygow with Jeff, and I was getting a little worried for a while that my draft strategy didn't work. And now ultimately I am going into the Super Bowl with the most amount of players, and the person that I'm playing has no players left. So I actually think unless I Pygow, which why would I Pygow? Because I'll obviously stack A squad and only put 1 player in B squad. I'm the guaranteed winner there. No one can beat me.
Unless that 1 player puts up 80 points as the game of his career.
That person would have to put up 80 points.
Fantasy sounds like way too much
80. One person would have to put up 80 points.
It's not that much math.
It's not going to happen. I think I'm pretty good over there.
Andrew says fantasy is too much math.
No, it's so much fun. You don't know until you know. It's fun.
You just have to do it.
Faisal wants to know a popular classic movie you both haven't seen yet.
Absolutely, so many. I'm not going to ever tell anyone I have completed my watch list because it is many.
It's literally impossible, though. That's the most exciting thing. I can only think of things that I can't. I mean, it probably ties into the fact that, like, if I haven't seen it, it's not easily coming to mind. But I am thinking of things that I saw later on that maybe I should have seen sooner. Like, one of the big ones that stands out to me is I'm also. I mean, you could probably think about a lot of classic westerns, and I haven't seen them. But when I had first started film school, one of my directing professors was really into The Searchers, and I had never seen The Searchers. And I think over the course of that particular semester, I must have watched The Searchers like 5 or 6 times.
5 or 6 times, yeah.
I watched it a lot.
I mean, like, if you want some glaring ones, like, I need to go back and watch a lot of Hitchcock. Like, you know, exactly. Like, that's the thing. I don't have the classical background is what I need to brush up on more and more. And
can I tell
I'm doing it slowly, but.
Can I tell you one of my favorite Hitchcock memories? So I feel like I've explained this to you before. When I was in high school, when you hit 10th grade, you were allowed to, it was either regular English, you could take the AP English, or you could be in something called school within a school, which the whole model of it was that you were allowed to choose your own classes, and it took place over the course of the last 3 periods of the day. So ultimately, every single quarter or semester or whatever school was by, you would pick new classes. And like some of those things were like writing the college essay, but other ones were Hitchcock.
Nice.
And baseball even. Like I learned about the history of baseball, but because of that Hitchcock class, I left high school having seen pretty much all the essentials.
That's good. I mean, like, it's funny because I've seen some. Like, I've seen Rope, but I've
I love Rope.
Yeah, so like I've seen some, but like
Rope
actually
is a really weird favorite to have. But that film is just, I mean, it's legit like an expertly crafted play come to life. One of my directing assignments in film school, I did a scene from Rope, and I'll never forget it.
Well, and like that's the funny part. Like I've seen Rope, but I haven't seen The Birds. Like how have I? how exactly? Yeah. So like
I have a Birds poster in my apartment that you've looked at all the time. I feel like when you see something like that,
is it playing on the poster? Am I watching it as I look at the poster?
It should remind you. It should up your. This is what I shouldn't be doing when someone says they haven't seen a classic. Matt, it's okay, and I'm excited that you're going to get to experience that movie for the first time.
That doesn't sound like what you said.
The Birds. Rear Window is my favorite Hitchcock. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Birds might be number 2, though.
Yeah.
I really love The Birds.
Yeah. So again, like there you go. But like that is the tip of the iceberg. There are so many things that I have not like actually dug through yet if we're talking about blind spots, because again, everyone has them.
Yeah. It's literally impossible not to have them. Hoshi. Yeah. What's up, Hoshi? Can't wait for your reviews of Evil Dead Rise. I need to be there. Matt, I need to be there.
I'm gonna be there.
I'm gonna figure out a way. I'm gonna figure it one way or the other.
I'm gonna be there.
One way or the other. One way or the other, I'm gonna go.
And now you know when Evil Dead rises too. So
I know.
Make sure you actually get there. Well, because I had a few friends who like, you know, they're like, of course, like I'm gonna hit up Evil Dead Rise while I'm there, but I'm only there for these days. Yeah. And they're like, of course it'll be in the front end. Of course it's going to be there. And I kept like,
I really did think it was going to be in the front end.
I did too. But then I sat there going like, Pet Sematary was closing and La Llorona was the day before. Like they play tricks sometimes. So yeah.
All right.
Everyone's been asking about the Strays hit. I didn't watch the Strays trailer. Is this like a big deal?
I have not watched any trailers this week except for Scream and Fast 10.
I have not. Yeah, I just didn't know if this was actually like gaining traction as something everyone's stoked for.
It does like not seem like something I'd be super into, but who knows? I shouldn't judge a film by its genre and premise and anything else I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, but it's foul-mouthed dogs. Who cares?
All right. It's incredible. I love pets, obviously, but I'm just not a big fan of talking cat and dog movies. What can I say? Except for Look Who's Talking Now.
Okay.
I love that movie. That is a childhood classic.
Wasn't the Ryan Reynolds movie The Voices? Didn't the dog?
Oh, I like The Voices.
Yeah, didn't the dog and the cat actually talk to him?
That one was pretty good. I vividly remember covering that movie.
Yeah, I think there's been a few that I've been okay with.
All right.
But God, did you remember that? Oh man, what was that? A Dog's Life?
I can't. Is that's the one where the dog just dies over and over and over?
Yeah, you just watch a dog, like you watch Josh Gad voice different dogs or some shit as they die. Like, what the fuck?
I do understand.
Why did they make that movie?
I do understand what the goal of that movie was, but like, why the fuck did they make that movie? Why the fuck did they?
I was so mad during that movie. Like, literally, the first thing is like a puppy, and it's just like, what are we doing?
You know that I don't like using the H word, but do you know two movies that I absolutely hate? Like, if I walk into a room and they're on, even if someone's watched like 75% of them, if they won't turn those movies off, I'll just like get the fuck up and leave. I refuse to be in the room when Marley and Me is playing. I will not. And I also will not go anywhere near someone who is watching the movie Stepmom. Both of those movies can fuck right off.
There you go. Everyone has one.
Fuck right off.
Or two, or multiple.
I will also take back my talking animal
there you go.
Comment for Homeward Bound. I love Homeward Bound.
I feel like cartoons are like,
that's not cartoon. That's live action.
Oh, that's right.
But their mouths don't move.
That's right. Yeah.
That might be why I'm a little more open-minded with Homeward Bound. I mean, beyond the fact that like I was a child who was obsessed with that movie. But
is that where you draw the line?
Their mouths don't move.
Okay, so when dogs' mouths don't move, they're allowed to talk.
I love them so much. There's parts of that movie that are just like burned in my brain forever. See how she gets it.
Oh, yeah, people get it.
You pumped for Cocaine Bear?
Yeah, I legitimately am. Like I stand by the fact that we're gonna get a different ending, and they're gonna know how to end this, and they're gonna know how to keep. So. I stand by it. From everything I've seen, I really don't think they can get away from it. Like, you've already sold this as a zany time. I don't think we end with what really happens.
Yeah. Oh my God. You need to change. You need to change that. Faisal is back here. Are you guys big on physical media? Do you still collect / purchase Blu-rays? I have changed my tune on this because of recent development at studios where certain ones are making certain movies and shows disappear, and it's upsetting. So yes, I am now a physical media person.
Yeah, a big on Vinegar Syndrome, big on a lot of those horror boutique releases, because it's just what Perri said, like so many things are now being lost. And I'm trying to take advantage of all these distributors who are rediscovering things and putting them out there again, because you don't know when they're going to be available. And the streaming of it all, we don't know. So like with Shudder, especially, like if you're a horror fan and you like Shudder movies and you see some of their originals and you really dig them, they actually released Blu-rays of them. So like go out and buy it. Like I watch it on Shudder for convenience. I 100% am okay with that. But me alone, I'm like, what if Shudder goes away someday? I am not saying it will. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but I don't know. So I'd rather just own copies of things I love because I can own them and hold them, and those are mine. When streaming, they are not yours. They are a company's. Yeah. And as HBO Max and others have showed, that can mean absolutely nothing.
We've got one from Haunted Autumn here. My best friend passed away yesterday, and I just wanted to say thank you to you both in the Merri Hour community for providing a joyful escape. This is one of my favorite places to be. I'm so sorry for your loss, Haunted Autumn, and I couldn't agree more. When you're going through tough times, this community, and I'll also give a shout out to the Patreon community who were very, very kind and lovely, and I love this place, and I'm happy to have you a part of it, Haunted Autumn. So thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
We have Michael Martinez.
Hello.
Just here saying hello. Hi, Michael. Hello. How's it going? Tell us how you're doing, and I'll pull up another chat for you. Oh my God, so many coming in.
I was like, we're on the way out. I like that everyone's throwing it.
I'm cool with this. Yeah. John Wick 4 is still my most anticipated of the year. John Wick versus Hiroyuki Sanada. Jesus. Sonata, Donnie Yen, Marco Zaror, and Scott Atkins. I
mean, yeah. Like that is correct. Holy shit. Is the correct response. Yeah. I am so excited. Again, talk about franchises that aren't overstaying their welcome. Put John Wick right there.
They do a pretty damn good job of embracing what we came to love in that first movie, but also evolving it every step of the way. And I think they've really grown that character of John Wick, in addition to other things, above and beyond what I ever expected from that franchise. Michael is working now. I hope you're having a good day at work. Hope things are going easy and well for you. All right. Shall we bounce? Do you want to plug anything? Plug.
At Donatobomb, Twitter, Letterboxd, Instagram. I am writing things frequently. As I've said, South by is coming up, but there's some more Merri Hours before then. I don't need to plug that just yet.
No.
But I got some, features. I'm there. You'll always catch me on /film, IGN, some other places. So follow me, and I will actually do my work because this is a nice place where we can just spitball and talk about things. But I'm more on top of names of things in my writing.
All right, I'll address this really quick, just in case anybody out there is like, "Where's my Slack invite or where's my Patreon reward?" Had a little bit of a challenging week, so everything kind of got pushed off. But my goal is to get back to it over the weekend. So Robin and more, you'll all be hearing from me very soon. I really, really appreciate the patience this week in particular. I'll just plug social stuff at P Nemiroff on Twitter and Instagram, and go check out my TikTok. I work really hard on my TikTok. I'm trying real hard.
God bless you.
One a day. That's my rule.
I've started just answering random questions on Twitter one a day. Like
I saw that. I like it. I enjoy reading it.
I don't have fun on Twitter anymore that much. So like it's one way for me to kind of just like start off by doing something at least not bad and something that at least I'm enjoying now.
Well, that's what you got to do. We're going to force these social media platforms into things that we like.
Come on, no, we can't do that with Twitter, but
thank you, Mitchell. We can't see your super sticker, but we're going to go look
We'll look at it later.
We're going to
I'll
look
pull
at
it up
later.
on YouTube.
I have been posting on shorts. I feel like I'll tell you guys some behind the scenes. I feel like I've had
Is
more
shorts YouTube? Wait, sorry.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I feel like I've had more luck with TikTok than I have with YouTube Shorts. Like those get more views than YouTube Shorts, but I will say that both have been really useful for expanding the reaction after a screening.
Okay.
My only problem with I have more problems as I'm saying that. I'm thinking of many problems. I have two problems with shorts right now. The first one being the fact that they took away thumbnails. That's just like an organizational thing that bothers me. And you can't even select a specific frame from your video. So it's always some like derpy, like, like I'm like mid-talk. It bothers me. The other thing is I understand the point of shorts is to keep it short. 60 seconds is too short. And I keep winding up in these situations where like I'll sit down and I'll record a TikTok reaction. And then when I go to edit it, I'm like at 1 minute and 10 seconds. And then all of a sudden my YouTube short isn't getting my full point across. And I find it very frustrating. So I hope that whoever's been watching my YouTube shorts is enjoying them. I'm trying to make them better.
So it literally won't let you go over. So like that's the point of it. It's just
but TikTok you can go longer. So even though I'm keeping my reaction short and sweet on TikTok, I'm still expressing like a full enough thought and backing it up. Whereas whenever I do it on YouTube Shorts, I feel like I'm prioritizing hitting a number over conveying that. I don't know.
Well, Patreon does the thumbnail thing too, and like so like we put on our Patreon, we'll post our videos and it'll always, like you just said, it's always the dumbest faces. It's always like me, like looking up, like with my mouth agape and like monocle, like or like something like that. Like it's always so funny.
So my Twitter and Instagram is P Nemiroff, and my TikTok is my full name, Perri Nemiroff. So
someone took P Nemiroff before you.
I don't know why I did that because I've always been one of those people that say like if you have multiple social media, just make them all the same so no one ever has to worry about finding you. And then all of a sudden I go on TikTok and I make it Perri Nemiroff out of nowhere. Why did I? I don't know. I think really no good answer for that.
If I ever actually use TikTok for more than just like watching videos, I have to recreate it because like I did just create a generic one because everyone's like, oh, just like create one so I can send you videos. I'm like, cool, whatever. I don't care. But like if I ever use it, I will make sure it's
I think you should.
I don't have the energy or time. I'm being straight up honest with you.
So okay, this is going to be my Matt makes a TikTok pep talk. So my personal rule with TikTok is that it can't ever feel like work. The goal is like I do want to build a following. So the goal is I need to be posting one video a day, but I'm only allowing myself to post things that I enjoy making or that I really want to share. So like I only pick interview clips that I really want to share. I only do like an Oscar video when I'm like excited and I have something quick and easy to say kind of thing. But the second it feels like more work to me, then it's not fun anymore and then it has to stop. Okay. Not that I don't enjoy my work, but hopefully you got what I meant by that.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, because again, like that's the whole point of all of this stuff. Like this is still extra. Like even this, what we're doing, like This is extra on top
the
of
best
what we,
kind of extra.
But that's the thing. It can't feel
Fun.
like, work, and it's keeping it that way. Yeah. And I've never looked at TikTok and thought of anything but additional work. So that's why I've been like, nah, I'm good.
So mirror domains, this is where I draw the line. No.
Hell no.
No. No one wants to see me dance. I don't want to dance.
Andrew was like, go grab the handle. I actually should do that. Just to actually grab it.
Well, you should. All right. That's it. We're out of here. Hope you all enjoyed tonight's show. Next week, we will be back in a live setting together in the same room, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. Until then, have a good weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Superb owl.